When you go through court, it becomes very contentious. People pick a side, and it's like a war. And so after the war's finished, they can't even get along for the best interest of the kids.
It is a wonderful way to resolve disputes without the formality of the court system that allows people to really take control of their own destinies and their own lawsuits. And it also allows them to be very frank and forthright in presenting their positions and having essentially their day in court in the mediation.
As attorneys, I mean, we think of, oh, we won the case, but these folks are still having to live their life.
If you can ratchet down the emotional baggage that comes with a case so that the parties can sit across the table from one another or across a hall from one another to resolve the issue without the emotion that comes with litigation, you're going to get a better result. It's going to last longer. And frankly, the cases we mediate, we just don't see again. They never come back to court.
Mediation allows folks to have a better relationship once the attorneys are out of the picture.
I've instructed all the magistrates that if you have parties who come in and can't agree to an order, that we send them first to mediation, to try mediation before they come back. And that's the policy of the court now.
What you have oftentimes when a child comes to court for something on the delinquent side, it's a symptom of something else that's going on. And so coming in and doing the mediation oftentimes has the ability to be able to address, well, what is the ultimate underlying problem that has created the symptom that gets them in court?
When we understand that mediation and other skills of conflict management can be applied in the workplace, in our places of worship, in our community organizations, with our neighbors, the more broadly we see what mediation can be, the more acceptable and common it will become.
Having a mediation team sets a tone in your school, a climate of acceptance. It helps kids to see other kids from different perspectives and different backgrounds. It teaches kids to respect one another and to respect their differences.
Everybody wants to be heard. The greatest gift you can give to anyone is to actually have heard them, not just listen to them, but to hear them and to understand them.
I would tell them that I don't want you to get mad. Now, if you do get mad, that's okay. Get mad, cuss a little bit if it helps, beat on the table, but then get it out of your system. Or don't cry. If you need to cry, okay, but cry and get it out of your system, because when a strong emotion takes effect, all our brain reverts to is the fight or flight. We quit thinking. And at mediation, we need the analytical part of the brain to work.
With all the juveniles that I work with, I think it's important to keep an open mind and just let them have the floor. Let them tell you how they're feeling.
One of the trainers talked about above the line and below the line, really what's on the surface and what's below the surface. And I think as mediators, we have to be very cognizant of what's below the surface, what's really driving something, what's really driving a position.
You really have to get in there, meet the people, get a feel for what's important to them, make sure that they know what you think is what's important to them. Like, I feel like I always try to relate with the person on a personal level, so I want them to know that I understand what their concerns are, that I understand that this process is difficult and upsetting and emotional, and try to make them feel more at ease with that.
An impasse, in my view, is a temporary state, meaning it lasts only as long as the parties are unwilling to see alternatives to their current situation.
One of the things I don't think we do enough of is emphasize the Rule 31 requirement that each mediator do 3 pro bono mediations a year, up to 20 hours a year. And I've never been asked to do a pro bono mediation. I'd be happy to do one. But I think we need to keep in mind that there is in reserve a number of people who would be happy and are required to do that mediation.
I would encourage mediators to volunteer. It is really very rewarding to serve in that capacity as a volunteer mediator and give back to your community.
Justice is not just court-centered. The fact is that justice can be achieved through then the parties resolving their own dispute.
And it's important to understand the court system has its place, but you don't necessarily need a full-blown court case for everything, every dispute that we have in Tennessee.
If we could get all attorneys to recognize that mediation is something that is in their client's best interest, litigation is almost never in their client's best interest, they would be more likely to engage the process and understand that mediation isn't removing their ability as an attorney. In my opinion, it only enhances your practice, because it's showing people that you care about them and you want their case to be settled in their best interest and have their best interest at heart.